I remember as a kid in school, I used to be so energetic, so quick to raise my hand, so quick to volunteer an answer or a request for a request. And I was a nerd. I was a student or whatever they went by back in those days. But I remember that all changed in third grade when I went to class one day, and this particular teacher could tell something was wrong with her, something, she was just off, right? And so I remember I raised my hand for this particular question that the teacher had, and she just went off on me. Just went off. You're always, cussing and screaming, and I was just paralyzed in fear, paralyzed in my, I didn't know what to say or what to do for the rest of that class. That rant probably only went on for 20, 30 seconds, but it felt like an eternity. And it would completely alter my life, right? Because, especially at school. So now I was scared to speak, scared to raise my hand, because I didn't want, up to that point, I had never experienced anything like that, right? And so it was just something totally new, and I knew that I did not like it. So from that point on, I just stopped raising my hand, and it affected my grades a little bit, and it affected my mental, because I was no longer this vibrant kid that was just quick to raise his hand or volunteer. I was always hesitant, and that affected me and went on until, for the rest of my school, through high school, right? And I didn't realize the impact it had until, I finally, in this life of being a Christian, when God asks you to do something, the hesitancy sometimes that I have or that I've had in the past, it's there. You know what I'm saying? The hesitancy is there. And about 15 years ago, God really had to deal with that with me, right? And so how did he deal with it? For a lot of you know that I do music, and so not only did he have me do music, but I ended up signing with the record label. Or what does signing with the record label mean? That means that you have to do concerts. And so, little to what they may have known, I was scared to death to go out there. I was scared. I had to push myself. I had to remember that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so I would push myself out there. I didn't want to go out there because of that thing that was inside of me that I didn't realize that it affected me through all those years. And it's important, so important, that we realize the impact that something like that experience that I had could have on kids, especially, what was I, 7, 8 years old? Clearly impacted my whole life. And here I was, 25 years old, scared to death to go perform something that I practiced hundreds of times. What does God do next? He has me go to school and do pastoral ministry. What do you have to do in pastoral ministry? You got to speak. And so listen, I spoke in front of a small class of 5 students. I've spoken to 5,000 people. And I'm not saying that to brag at all, because I didn't draw those people, right? That was just an assignment for a particular moment in time. But it was also for my training. It was my training. I, again, had to throw myself out there. And I had to weigh it. Do I trust God more than I'm willing to give into my fear? And I think that's part of the answer for me, right? And it's something that I think that we need to think about, because what things have happened in your adolescence that is still affecting you now? What triggers you? What are some things that that you just don't allow yourself to do that have affected you all of your life, and you're wondering, like, I don't know where it stems from? Well, maybe you need to take a really long look at your upbringing and see if there's anything there, any past trauma that is still affecting you today. All I know is I still get butterflies when I go in front of people. But if God puts me on an assignment, I'm there. I'm going to do it. Right? I'm doing it. The butterflies may come, but God's will still will be done. And so I challenge you to take a look into your past. Whatever it is that's still affecting you today, take a look at it. And when it's time to confront it, hey, go for it. You can do all things through Christ, so can I. God bless. Much love.